is the chief executive of Boxer, and he is Ben Shalom. Ben, it is good to see you, my friend. How goes it? You got yourself a holiday, which amazes me. How did you manage that?
Oh, you know what? In the summer, we had a few weeks off. It was good. First one in 2 years, but it was nice to get away.
How would you describe this crazy industry you work in?
It's the Wild West, isn't it? It's the last industry, I think, that operates like this, and it's crazy. Sometimes you're thinking, what am I doing? But we love it as well. We love the chaos.
You do love it. I know you work closely with Simon, who loves his boxing, and of course this Saturday another big occasion because talkSPORT brings you exclusive boxing commentary. Caroline Dubois fights Magali Rodriguez for the vacant IBO lightweight world title at York Hall, Bethnal Green. Caroline coming back, she's a bit of a star, she not?
Oh, unbelievable. I think she debuted last year. She's 22 years old. She's already the #1 lightweight on BoxRec in the world. It's a phenomenal talent. Obviously worked with Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Tasha Jonas now, and those are fighters that have sort of Caroline's looked up to and been able to sort of try and emulate. But to be 22 years old, as I say, this doesn't happen very often. Katie Taylor and Tasha Jonas, I think, were in their 30s by the time they turned over. This is someone that I believe is going to take the sport to a new level, and with Katie Taylor coming to the end now in that same lightweight division, this is the girl to take the torch. This is the talent that can take women's boxing even further.
And Ben, you've taken a bit of a gamble here with Rodriguez, actually, because she comes with a lot of experience. She's got a good record. You know, she's a WBC silver champion. She's fought some of the best. She's actually drew with the 2016 lightweight Olympic champion. So she can fight, and she's got that Mexican all-out style where she comes forward, she swings her shots in. So it is a calculated gamble, isn't it, for Caroline, who's relatively inexperienced with only 7 contests?
No, it's a huge step up. This is a former world title challenger. This is someone that throws punches from all angles. But when you're Caroline Dubois, and when you've got that sort of ambition, it's very, very difficult for her to be tested unless she's fighting the very best. So #1 against #3, as I say, in the world. Her first time headlining, this age. I know she'll be dealing with some nerves this week. You know, it's a huge step up, but to do what she wants to achieve in the sport, she has to take gambles. It reminds me a little bit of Adam Azeev, both with Shane McGuigan. Both want to be challenged very early on, almost in a competition as to who's going to be the future, I guess, of the sport. But yeah, big test, and on Saturday night it will be a hell of a fight because Magali looks in incredible shape.
Ben, I remember speaking to you before you embarked on this with boxing and whatnot, and you said to me quite openly, I think I can achieve things in this industry. Where does your achievements regards women's boxing specifically sit with you in that overall achievements effort of yours?
I think it has to be #1. I think
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you look at women's boxing and since
all female cards
since
and
2012 and doing the first female British title with Lauren Price and the all-female card that sold out the O2, I think it's not just me, it's the board as well got behind it, other promoters have got behind it, and you talk about women's sport and the surgence of it, but in boxing there is genuine interest, there's genuine fans, we see it in the numbers, we see it in the fighters coming through, and yeah, the talent now with Lauren Price and Carrie Sartingstall and Caroline Dubois and Fran Hennessy, who's Mick Hennessy's daughter, who will debut on Saturday night. For the first time, we're seeing strength and depth in the divisions, and the sport is a shining light, I think, with everything and the chaos that goes on in British boxing. I think women's boxing has been definitely something to shout about.
I reckon we've all been won over, if indeed we had to be won over, Simon, by the women's fight game.
Well, there was an element of needing to win it over because there was an element of people not necessarily sure of the quality. Obviously, the days of Jane Couch have moved on. And we've now got to a stage where it is now becoming a commercially, economically sustainable part of the industry. It's a new frontier. And so with new frontiers, you break landscapes, you change the direction of people's thinking. And when you saw a different audience, very different audience, but when we saw the event between Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall, very different audience, but the engagement, the interest, the level, it's very interesting that we are at the centre of it in this country. The Americans are having to come here. It's normally what happens is, we put aside the Middle Eastern phenomenon, but normally when you go to the capital of boxing, it's somewhere in America and all the money's there. Yet we are the lightning rod for women's boxing. Clarissa Shields needs to come here. The young lady that fought Savannah Marshall the other day needed to come here to be able to make their financial landscape more brighter. So I think it's great. And there's lots of things with women's boxing. And Caroline Dubois is undoubtedly a potential star, a real star.